Morning and welcome back to the channel. I sincerely apologize everyone for not having made any new videos as of late. Been busy, been on vacation, had stuff going on, so and like I've said in previous videos, right now is not a very busy time in the garden because it's really hot. So but I'll give a quick update since it's been a couple weeks. If you notice, I've cut down these. I went on vacation a couple weeks ago for a week and came back, and these sunflowers were way up high, so I cut them and did chop and drop with them. But there's not a whole lot going on. It has been really hot and really dry. That mulberry is getting really tall, which I'm excited about. But it's been really hot and really dry. We did get rain. We had a storm come in last night, and so luckily we did get some rain. But I mean, it has been very hot and very dry. Not a lot, you know, not a lot going on in here. But I mean, you can see I have some black-eyed peas over here, and they don't even really want to grow. One of them is kind of climbing up there, but it's been really brutally hot. While we were on vacation, apparently we had a pretty bad storm, and a lot of my plants took some wind damage, including these cassava. They've gotten really big, but what you can see is, if you notice how it's kind of going off this way, I didn't plant it like that. It was straight up and down, and it has, you know, tried to correct itself, but it is because of that wind storm that we apparently had. And I've heard that it was a pretty bad storm, so it's really it bent over most of my cassava, and it did some damage to some of my other plants. I need to put some stuff in here. This is kind of a bare spot, and I don't really want a bare spot. There's some sweet potato. It would be bigger if the rabbits would leave it alone, but there's sweet potato over here. This one over here is the purple sweet potato. All this in here. I planted a little mango tree over here. Looks like it must have died. I don't even see it anymore. That's a bummer. I just now noticed that. I'm gonna pull this okra. This right here is a Caesar weed, and I'm getting rid of that before it starts, because those will take over. But yeah, the purple sweet potatoes are looking pretty good. But yeah, it has been so hot that even things that, you know, don't mind the heat have been struggling. But here's one of the things you can see. This was a Roselle plant, and it's still alive. You know, you can see it's still alive. Well, no, that's the same plant. But you can see right there where the wind just made it basically split. And that happened to another one of my Roselles over here. But yeah, it really did a number on the garden when I got home and saw what had happened. Look at this one. This cassava is the worst. I planted it over there, and it was going straight up, but now it's laying down. And let me go from the other side. You can see a little better. See how it's completely like laying down that way. So it's still alive. It's still, you know, it's still doing all right, but it completely got pushed down that way. This one did okay, because this one's not a very big one, so it withstood. But again, you can see right here, right in there, it just tore that. I don't know what happened. it's still alive too. You can see it's all around here, but the wind must have been so bad that it just caused it to split. My yam is doing well over there. I think I'm going to get one last okra, because there it is off of this plant, because it's nothing but a twig now. But yeah, a lot of the stuff that got damaged by the wind is still alive. It's just in very weird shapes. This probably has done the best out of all of it. This Cranberry Hibiscus, it looks really good. It's getting nice and full. I'm really surprised it hasn't flowered yet, but maybe it's not time. I don't know. We'll see what happens, but it looks really good. It looks really healthy. It's growing quickly. So, but yeah, I have, like, you can see where I have put wood chips down on this path. I think I showed that in a previous video. But I ran out of wood chips, so I'm waiting for, I signed up for chip drop. I'm waiting for more wood chips on that, because this side needs it. The weeds are getting pretty bad. I just came out and hoed it down, but they're already starting to grow back again. Some of these things, like this stuff here, I don't know what it is, but it grows quickly, and it'll pop up as soon as you pull it up. More will pop up. And I don't overly worry about weeds, because it's not, the end of the world if you have some weeds growing in here. But what I need to do is have more stuff planted, and with the way I'm trying to imitate the grocery row that David the Good does, you need to have layers of stuff on top of the ground, and I'm still working at that. But let's go look around at the trees. My trees, none of them really took any damage from the storm, but they've been taking a beating from this weather. This little mango here is struggling to hold on. I need to get some more tree fertilizer. I need to pull all this grass over here back away from it. It doesn't hurt to have grass around it, but you don't want to, especially when they're young. You don't want to have grass right up to it like this. But this is very thick grass. It's probably sedge, but when you pull it out or cut it down or whatever you do, just chop and drop with it. See, that's what when it blooms, that's what it does. Nut sedge is what it's called. And it's a very thick, very hardy grass. But yeah, just throw it down around the base of the tree, and you've got free fertilizer, because everything you just pulled out and threw down will die, and then it will feed the ground. I'm concerned about my cherry of the Rio Grande here, because I put this in a month or so ago, and it is looking very sad. The leaves are always droopy like this. It didn't look like this when it was in its pot when I bought it. So I don't know what the deal is. I need to get some tree fertilizer, and maybe that will help it. I think it's just in shock, honestly. But it is, like I said, it has been brutally hot outside, and we hadn't had rain. Last night was the first time in either almost a week or a week that we hadn't rain. So I've been watering, been running the sprinkler, but it's just never the same. And it's just been so hard to keep everything watered because it's been so, I mean, I'm serious, it's been extremely hot. And when you have extremely hot and extremely dry here in Central Florida, it's a very bad combination for plants, because even the plants, like I was looking out of my window the other day, even the plants, now this side note here, this is Bahia Grass, this stuff right here. Oh, this is probably going to tear my allergies up. It's already been tearing my allergies up. But even the plants outside that are, you know, very, very heat hardy have been looking very sad. And I'm not talking about stuff that I've planted. I'm talking about stuff that is naturally, you know, growing outside. It has just looked, it's looked very, very sad because it's been so hot and so dry. But yeah, I'm crossing my fingers hoping that we'll get some bananas this year from our ice cream bananas back here, but I don't know why they just don't want to make fruit. These are Spanish needles or shepherd's needles. They will get very big like this if you let them. But again, first of all, the leaves are edible if you cook them. It's a good native plant, but it does get very big. Like this is what the flower looks like here. Looks like a little daisy almost. But even like my mulberry tree back here, I need to get it some fertilizer or something because it's starting to do that thing where it starts to turn brown and look gross. It will survive, but man, it is, when that tree is starting to struggle with heat, then I know it's really, really, really hot and really dry, because it usually can take a beating and not worry about it. This lemongrass is growing like crazy. I should probably come in here and hack some of it down and use it. It smells so good though. That's one of the things I love to do, is get a clump of it and just squeeze it and smell it. It smells so good. My star fruit back here is looking good. Getting nice and tall. This persimmon tree here, I don't know what to do about it. It just looks like it wants to completely give up the ghost. I don't know what to do. Over here I had a cantaloupe that I had planted, and it was still running. It's still kind of running, but it's not doing anything. So I think next time I mow the grass, I want to just mow it down. Right in here I had planted a lemon, I think a Meyer lemon, but it never looks any good, so I don't really worry about it. Then I have this bottle brush, and it doesn't even look that good. I don't know what the deal is with it. I don't know. It's been extremely hot, and it's hard for anything to deal with the heat. I mean, it's been, the afternoon temperatures are in the upper 90s. When you add the humidity into that, it feels like it's in the hundreds, and it's been really, really brutal. This Barbados Cherry is still coming back. I don't expect to get any fruit out of it this year at all. Hopefully we won't get a bad freeze again this winter and take it down again. I'll try to protect it better. The loquats are fine. Like, they're, out of all my trees, they're the ones that never seem to get bothered by anything. This peach tree is struggling a little bit. Like I said, I need to get some I like to use the fertilizer spikes, and I just hammer them into the ground. But I need to get something because they are in need of. That's a mango coming back there. That's an Alfonso mango. I planted my, which I think I did a video of it, planting this finger lime here. And it seems to be doing all right. It's not getting full sun back here because the trees here, you can tell, are blocking the sun. So basically it's going to get full afternoon sun, like when the sun gets all the way up in the sky, and then some in the evening it'll get sun, but otherwise it's not going to get blasted with sun. So it seems to be keeping it alive pretty well. This mulberry back here, it's kind of limping along, but I think the heat and everything's been getting to it. Here's some more of that Caesar weed. I don't like it to be. That's what's all growing out here. It takes over, and it makes a flower that butterflies like, but it just takes over everything, and it makes these little. Once it dies, it makes these little sandspur-looking seed pods, and they stick to everything, and then it spreads. But and my tangerine trees limping along. This Sumo Citrus is limping along. It's pretty much all yellow. I don't know if either one of these are gonna make it, but I may have to get a replacement tree for that tangerine. And this Sumo Citrus here, it was purely an experiment because we happened to get one that had a seed, and I germinated it, but it's, ouch, got thorns. It's all yellow, and so I don't know. I think it needs specific conditions to grow well, and I don't know if we have those conditions here. It may be too wet. Don't know. Funny that I say that after I've been saying it's been so dry, but in general it may be too wet here. But yeah, see, this is one of the, I don't know if you can see it flying around over there. It's an amberwing. It's in the dragonfly family. Right there. It landed right there. They're called amberwings because their wings look like amber. They're clear, kind of a bronzy brown color, like amber would be. I'm just trying to get some of this grass up, but I don't know if you hear that woodpecker flying by. But yeah, the loquats seem to, it doesn't matter what happens to them, and they just keep on going, which is fine with me. This one is getting really big here. You can see there's a growth point there. I don't think that's going to be fruit. I think that's where more leaves are going to come out, but we'll find out. But I mean, it doesn't seem to matter if it's hot, if it's cold, if it's wet, if it's dry. These things just are, they just keep right on trucking. My fig trees are looking pretty pitiful. I can't figure out the trick to figs. I can't figure it out. I know that they're a Mediterranean plant originally. So, oh look, there's a little dandelion. So I know that they don't like a lot of rain and a lot of water. But I don't know. It's just, they have really been struggling. That, I think that's a black mission fig. My turkey fig is okay. It's doing okay, but I can never get fruit out of any of them. That one's too small. That one won't make any fruit. But this one, the first year I had it, it made fruit, but it hasn't really made, sorry, had a mosquito on me. It hasn't really made fruit since, and I don't know what to do. Now, one thing I'm happy about is this mulberry here. Now it's starting to look bad again, but this mulberry here has finally seemed to have taken root and actually growing and getting taller. I thought for a while it was just going to die because it pretty much just stayed looking like that with all the little growth and stuff like that, and all of a sudden finally it has started to shoot up and you know, look better. So if it keeps this up, I don't think we'll get any fruit off of it this year. If it keeps this up though, we'll probably have fruit on it next year, as long as it doesn't get zapped by a freeze this year, if we have any freezes. I live in an area that you never know. Sometimes you can, sometimes you do have, sometimes you don't have freezes where I live. So last year we had 3, and that was a pretty cold winter for us. But the year before that, I don't think we had any. It got down almost to freezing, but it never froze. So yeah, that's about it. Like I said, not a whole bunch going on. It's not quite time. Give this another month and we'll start getting busier. There's a blue dragonfly. I don't know if you can see it. It notices me now. But once September rolls around, it'll be time to start getting ready for the fall garden, which is my favorite garden, my favorite time to garden. So that will be, it'll be a lot busier then, a lot more things going on. Hopefully I'll have some, at that point I'll be picking Roselle. And actually I'm gonna go back here and check and see, check on the beautyberry growing back here, which I need to take cuttings of that when it's not blooming and start trying to propagate it, because we don't always get enough berries back here to make anything with. But you can see that some of the berries are already starting to turn purple right down there, and that's why they're called beautyberry, because of their color. But they need more time. Won't be long. You can see all the green berries. It won't be long before we can start harvesting them. But it's looks like a little cotton stainer on that one, that little bug. But once they get really good and a dark purple is when it's time to harvest them. And we got a good bit this year. Now the birds will start to eat them, but there's some in there, right back in there. Hopefully we'll have enough to make some jam or something like that this year. See, those are almost ready right there, actually. I feel like they're ripening earlier than normal this year. I don't know, but give them some more time. Get set a good amount, and hopefully we can get enough. My in-laws had some growing at their house, and I'll go and pick some there. There's a bunch in here too. I'll go and harvest some over there too. So hopefully we'll have enough to make some jam this year, because it's pretty good jam. But yeah, this cassava over here, I don't know what type of cassava this is, but it is as tall or taller than my house. It is really tall. The passion fruit is done for the year. My passion fruit blooms in late spring and produces in early summer. So it is finished making fruit this year. Now it will just hang out literally until next year. And then the fun part's gonna be next year, where is it gonna pop up? Because this year it's all up in the tree up here. There's a big oak tree here, and this passion vine has crawled all the way up. I can see it going like way up there. So I had fruit that I was picking up out here that was from way up in the tree, and so next year it'll be even more fun to see where exactly it's coming from. Let me see. Over here I had planted some turmeric, but I don't think it grew. And then I'm going to check on my... I bought some more comfrey. I think I showed that in a video. But comfrey is touchy. This one is the older plant that I had, and it seems to be doing all right. This one is hanging in there. I had planted another one, and it's gone. It died. But it's just touchy. It likes to be wet, and I haven't been taking care of that very well. But it likes to be wet, and it does not like a lot of sun. So this is planted over here. This basically gets dappled sunlight, but it's going to be all shade for the most part. But I want some big full comfrey bushes so that I can make fertilizer with it. But it's just touchy for some reason. And some of that's my fault because I haven't been taking care of it like I should. Here's my arrowroot that I planted over here. It looks like it has taken root, and because it was kind of sagging over when I first planted it, and it's perked back up and looks like it's doing pretty well. And then of course my ginger is up over here, and this stuff pretty much takes care of itself. It is all over the place. Here's rosary pea vines all in here. But another fun thing about this is every year you get to see how it spreads. Since it spreads underground, you get to see how much farther the roots have spread. So all of a sudden you'll have a much wider range of ginger. So, but once it starts to, if you plant ginger and get it to take hold, it takes off, and it really does. Just make sure you plant it somewhere that gets dappled sun. It doesn't like full sun. But one of my aloe plants is blooming. I've had several of them bloom, but this variety makes these kind of a corally pink orange flower that are really pretty, kind of like a pastel orange. And they'll keep, it's probably not done. I'll probably get some more that'll bloom. Mine always bloom in the summertime. Some people's bloom at different times, but for some reason mine always blooms in the summer. But yeah, that's about it. I've got my star fruit right there that's doing well. That's my black sapote tree doing okay over there. And I've got up here, I need to plant these somewhere. This is my stevia plant, which it's doing pretty good. This is, I took a Everglades tomato and pushed it down into the soil here, and that's what's come up, and it's doing really well. I need to put it somewhere in the shade. And then I've got 3 black sapote saplings right here that I need to plant out. And that is cilantro, also called Mexican coriander. And it has started to take hold. Need to plant it somewhere. I don't ever really know where to put herbs though. And there's some purple sweet potato and orange sweet potato all mixed in these pots. So, and then that blueberry I had some lettuce growing in my wicking container there, but I pulled it out because it's just too hot for lettuce. I just wanted to see if it would grow. It grew, but it didn't do very well, so I need to figure out what to plant in there. I would put some of the Everglades tomato in here, but this particular spot gets quite a bit of sun in the afternoons, and a friend of mine who's you know, knowledgeable with gardening and everything said that he has found that Everglades tomato tends to do better when it's not in full sun. But anyways, that's all for today. Again, I apologize for it being so long since I had a video. Just had a lot going on, and stick with me because, like I said, in about a month, a little more, we're gonna have more things going because it'll be time for fall gardening. So that's it for now. Thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing, and I will catch you all next time. Have a good day.